Yeah.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Today we have Nanny Bimla with us and her granddaughter, Monika. And we're so excited to have them both here with us today. Nanny Bimla is, believe it or not, 88 years old. Am I getting that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually not the surprising part. She is a weightlifter. And she is one of the most active 88-year-olds that you will find. And it has just been our absolute pleasure to have her here on this show. And Monika, welcome. Thank you so much for being part of this with us as well. And Nanny Bimla, of course, this wouldn't have been possible without you. So thank you both so much for joining us on this show. And
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
all right, so I'm going to kick this off with Nanny Bimla. Can you tell us a little bit about your youth, about India? You have. I think that this little short episode is too short to tell us everything about your life, but if you could just give us a few details about what was it like for you, growing up, and then there was partition, and then there was India, and all of those experiences. What was it like for you?
I was born in India, Punjab. Then my parents moved to Shimla. We stayed there a few years, and my father was carpenter. And after that, I was about 8, 9. Then we moved to Pakistan. We went there. We had good time there till partition, India and Pakistan. Then we had good time there. We didn't want to come back, back to India. Then we have to when we had partition.
Yes.
That time was very difficult to save your life. Then we hidden ourselves in the lorry. My uncle had lorry. We sat in the lorry and escaped from there. Then we caught the train from Sibi. Maybe you know that city. Then we hidden in the train. We were so scared. My parents were scared about me because nobody, kidnapped me. And then somehow, luckily, we reached the Punjab. Then we said, thank God for that. Yeah. My grandmother was there, and my uncle, Tayaji. They were there to support us. We didn't have anything with us all our, life. That's all. And
How old were you, Nani, if I may ask?
sorry?
How old were you at this point?
15. I was 15 when we come back from Pakistan to Punjab. Yeah, I was 15. And my Tayaji and my grandmother, they helped me, support us. And my father was still in Pakistan because we had business. And he came after us after a few weeks. And then we had war in India.
Yeah.
It was so scared.
Mm.
So scared. We came from Pakistan to India. Then after a year, then start India's war.
Yeah.
And all the Pakistani has to get off out the India.
Mm.
And I remember I had one family, Pakistani family, we hidden in our house to help the family.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's lovely.
yeah, they were so scared. I was sick,
Yeah.
and after that they had to go,
Mm.
and that was very difficult time.
I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at you, honey. You've lived through all of that trauma.
Sorry.
You've lived through all of that trauma.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you know what's really interesting is that I didn't actually know that Nanny went through all of this, because I think that generation, they came to England, Nanny came in the 50s, and I honestly didn't even know Nanny's partition journey until a few years ago, when it was the 70th anniversary of partition. And then me and Nanny just had a really long conversation about it. And I was shocked, and I was just thinking, you lived through all of that. You don't speak about it. And even Nanny's little sister sadly passed away from exhaustion in the journey. And we just had no idea. And they have to live with that trauma. But they are such fighters. That generation, Nanny's generation, Nanny herself, is made from something else. She is a warrior. No, I've always thought to myself, Nanny's so strong. She's raised me and my sister up, literally single-handedly. She's so strong. Nothing ever scares her, phases her. And obviously that's why she's faced death on so many occasions back in India, where now she can tackle anything. And it's amazing. But so in awe of Nanny.
Thank you, Monika.
So in awe.
No, but I think, it's amazing to kind of hear from you and hear these stories, right? Because for a lot of us in our generation, these are things that you read about in books, or you read about, articles and things like that. But when you actually meet someone who's lived the experience, and who, it brings on a whole different meaning and a whole different complexity to the issue. And I think that there is a connection that you make to that lived experience, and I think that, I feel privileged to be able to be sitting here and listening to you, Nanny, share that with us. And so thank you so much for that. I really feel privileged to be able to share this with you, so thank you.
Thanks.
And I think that, for me, if you to move on to slightly happier topics, tell us about, your journey into England. What was it like for you to move to England in the 50s? Was it a very strange thing? Did you have family there? What was it like for you as an immigrant back in the 50s?
When I came to England?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I was very excited because my husband was here, and I was so excited, looking forward. And I thought I'm going to be a wonderful time. Yeah. We didn't have a house or anything. I came to England. My husband was at the airport, and I didn't know I'm at the airport.
Because you've never flown
Heathrow.
before.
No. No.
You've never been at airplane.
First time. And then my husband saw me. He waved me. I waved him. Oh, I said, that's nice. And when I uh, came from the airport, and my village family, two families were in the house. They were friend of mine from India to here. Then I didn't feel any strange things. I was so happy with them. And they loved to have me. And we had very good time all together, three families in one house that time.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that time was like this. And that time was, we didn't have heat in the house. We didn't have central heating. And we didn't have a bath in the house. We have to go out to have a bath that time.
Yeah.
Then we stayed there. I came in March, then we moved in July. We bought the house, then we moved in our house.
Okay.
5-bedroom house. And then we start our life. And
with 5 kids.
And at that time was only 2 kids when I came.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 27 when I came to England, and I had girl and boy that time. After that, I had 3 kids.
Wow. And then Nanny was also working full-time at Warwick Hospital as a domestic worker, and she did night shifts and day shifts, all while managing 5 kids. I can't. I don't know how you do it.
Absolutely. So I have 3 of my own, and some days I'm just like, wow, today's been a long day, you know.
It's a long day.
That time was different than now.
Yes.
Now, we, just me, never got tired doing housework, looking after children, going to the work. It wasn't hard for me. I was happy. And my husband support me at home, housework.
Yeah.
And I had good time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Nanny always gets through every hardship with a smile on her face and will never complain. Whereas us, my generation, we're so the opposite. But then we look at the things that Nanny has achieved and what Nanny has accomplished when she was our age, and we think to ourselves, oh my God, how? Yeah. How is that even possible? Nothing. That's why she's Superwoman.
And I think that brings me to the next question that I had. You also didn't speak the language, right? You didn't speak English until much later.
I couldn't speak one word of English when I came to England. One of the lady in the aeroplane, she said, put your coat on.
Did you understand what she was saying?
I couldn't understand her. Then she picked her coat, put around her. Then she said, put your coat on. Then I did, because she said we are reaching Heathrow Airport. Yeah, I couldn't. Then I picked up, you know.
We went to English. Nanny used to go to college, English college, when I was in primary school, I think. And it was 3 times a week or something. And Nanny used to sit monthly exams and tests. And we have lots of certificates of Nanny's where she's passed level 1, level 2, and all our old English books we used to give to Nanny. And she used to be obsessed with learning English. And we used to give her spellings. And Nanny's really good, but she's very different in the sense that she wants to learn more. She's so hungry to learn English. And even now, Nanny will be adamant, I want to speak in English with you. And if I say it wrong, correct me or give me spellings, or we will read together. Even with your book, we will go through it. and we were reading it together. Was it last night? And then anything that Nanny couldn't pronounce or didn't understand, I would clarify that to Nanny, and then Nanny would go over again. And she's so good at English, so good. And she's
thank you, Monika.
So eager to learn, and I love that.
Even I cannot speak very well English, but I'll try. Yeah, I do my best.
She's so good.
I think you do more than your best. I think you're doing amazing, and really,
thanks a lot.
You're such an inspiration to us all. We were talking earlier about, just how busy you've been even during the lockdown, because I know that's been hard on so many of us, and so many of us in our generation have just been kind of fighting it. And you've been telling us about all the different things that you've been doing during the lockdown. Do you want to kind of just share with us in terms of how you've been keeping yourself busy?
But that's my habit. Keep myself busy, just passing the time. If you keep sitting down watching telly, that is boring. That is boring. Yeah. Now I go out to the park or town shopping. I've got car. I take my car. I go wherever I like to go. I'm independent, and at home I'm doing what I want to do. And I've got a little gym at home. My daughter put machines in, treadmill, bike, and other machine which I can use. That is very good. Keep me busy and keep me healthy, and never let me bored.
Never.
That's
and Nanny did short Instagram fitness videos over lockdown, and they were so popular because they're very simple exercise movements for the elderly, and everyone loved it. So then Nanny had quite a few live interviews over lockdown. Nanny Bimla, the fitness fanatic, that was her name. That would be the title that the news outlets would call her, and it was amazing. And as well as that, Nanny's also been doing a lot of knitting. Oh my goodness, her knits are incredible. Jumpers, scarves, hats, cardigans. Oh, sensational, beautiful work. And they went viral on my social media. Everyone was so impressed with Nanny. She's just doing everything. She just doesn't have an off day. She doesn't have a down day. Keeps herself busy.
Yeah. The girl from the
Harry Potter.
She said, I like you knitting. I pay you. Knit for my baby.
I've got so many requests.
Requests. So I did, but I didn't charge anything.
Nanny will never charge. She does it with love.
She knits with love. With my love. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we were talking earlier about how Nanny raised you, Monika. And do you have some sort of stories of Monika growing up? And what was it like to have these two little ones running around and kind of raising them as well? I mean, because you would have been through your 5 children raising them, and then to raise grandchildren. What was that like for you?
Yeah, that was very good. I was 59 when I have Monika and Renila. That was amazing. And I was very, very happy and lucky to have them, and keep me busy and happy. Monika was very cute. Just the way she is now, all the time smiling and doing something with the hands, and she's pulling other people towards her. Anyway, people never get tired looking at her smile, eyes, and she never cry, very cute and playing all the time. And when she was years old, then she was a toddler and walking in the garden around the trees. And I had good time with them. And Monika's mom used to go to work. She has had to go to work. And we had a wonderful time. Sometimes we playing with the toys. Sometimes we playing with in the garden. Sometimes we doing numbers.
Oh, lovely.
We did it all, didn't we?
Yeah.
We we had the best childhood, to be honest.
Yeah.
We may not have had a lot, but what we did have was so much love. And we were so lucky that we had Nanny there literally 24/7. And one of the most fond memories that I have actually is when we used to go to a park in Leamington. It's called Jefferson Gardens. And they just had most amazing trees, and then you had that wonky tree that we used to climb on.
Yeah.
And then we had the swings and the slides, and every day Nanny used to take us. And in the summer holidays we used to go to the park, we used to go to the library to rent a Bollywood film, and then we used to watch the Bollywood film, and then we had to have subtitles, but obviously Nanny's just pro. And that was literally every day in the summer holidays. Me, Neela, my sister, and Nanny, we used to just have so much fun. And then Punjabi school we went to, and that was really, and used to make us dinner every day.
Yeah.
And it was just, we had a really good time. We had a lovely time.
Amazing.
We played so many games together. We did English classes together, Punjabi classes together. And because obviously we were living with Nanny, Nanny was the main center point. So all the family used to come to ours, and we used to have lots of lovely gatherings. And Nanny's cooking is phenomenal. It's the best food in the world. Nothing can ever compare. And we were just really lucky. That we were brought up by Nanny, because we have your mentality, we have your kindness, well, hopefully, and because Nanny's got such a big heart. And the thing with Nanny is that whenever she goes into a room, she lights it up. She's so kind. She says hello to everyone. Equality plays such a big part in her life. Always at the Gurdwara, always volunteering for charities, giving to charities, making food for the homeless. It's just always been such a big part of her life, and it's just so wonderful. And I just hope those values are instilled in us, because obviously me and my sister, we try and do whatever we can, but it's just probably not as much as Nanny, but her heart is just gold. It really is.
It's so lovely to hear you talk about it. And you can see the relationship between the two of you, and I think that for so many grandparents and grandchildren, there's something very, very special about that bond.
And Ranila, she isn't here. She's on holiday.
That's right for some. But we're so close. We're so close. I think, grandparents, Nanny was just everything to me. I remember when we used to go to school, Nanny used to drop us off every day in her gym gear, nursery, school, and then Clapham Terrace. Yeah. And then used to go to the gym after. Yeah. And there was one time, to be honest, it was actually quite a few times, I would grab onto Nanny's leg because I didn't want Nanny to leave me. Yeah, I used to cry and cry. Yeah. I was so attached. And you
that was nursery time. When you used to go to nursery, and she never leave me alone. She never let me go home, and a few times I stayed with her
because I'd cry the moment Nanny left.
Yeah,
I was so attached.
She sleep with me on my tummy.
Yeah. But even now, I remember when I had to go to Malaysia for work.
Oh my God.
I cried so much. I went for 3 months and I was about 19, cried my eyes out. I didn't want to leave Nanny. It was even now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So, Nanny, did did you get to go back to India? Have you guys gone back together ever? Have you kind of shared those memories with each other?
Oh, yes, of course. We went 2017.
We went 2017. That was the last
17
time.
to India, all the family, my daughter, my son-in-law, and Monika.
That was nice. We had a good time.
We had very good time. We went place to place.
Yeah.
Agra, Delhi, Chandigarh. We didn't stay one place. A few days here, few days there. Then we went so many places. Can't remember now.
Where did we go? It was amazing. Yeah, we did a tour.
Yeah,
we went to Nanny's your Pind, so where you're from. We stayed in the family home, and personally for me, it made me appreciate life so much, because seeing where Nanny came from and seeing her journey from India to the UK and what she's achieved in the UK, you know, I'm just so lucky to have a toilet that flushes. I'm lucky to have a sink with running water. I'm lucky that there are the schools and hospitals, and I was just so grateful because, you know, it was hardship back in the day. It wasn't easy. No. And even though Nanny seemed so content, for me, it was a bit of a struggle, but it really made me appreciate and value everything that I have in life.
We had very good time. Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Was it? Sorry. How was it like for you to kind of like, you know, get a sense of your roots? I mean, you know, growing up, there would have been stories that Nanny would have told you about where she came from and the things that she used to do. And, you know, to kind of connect that when you actually see it, what was that like for you?
It was really emotional, actually. There's so much that it's a bit of a whirlwind when you're here. You're in working life, everything's so fast paced. And I think it was nice to just zone out and go back to our roots, Nanny's roots. And I remember when we were going to the Punjab Nanny's Pind, it was a bit overwhelming. It was very emotional because I didn't realize that this was Nanny's background essentially. And, you know, for Nanny had a massive smile on her face when I was just thinking, oh my word, like, this is where you are from. It was just so different to what we're used to here, making food, washing clothes, everything, every aspect of life was just so different. But what was amazing when we went to your family's house was the love, the warmth and the respect that they had for us. And for me, that was just so special. And it was a very emotional time. Yeah. And then you had so many memories in that house because Nanny's mum, BG, used to live there. And she sadly passed at 107 years old. But Nanny used to tell us stories about BG, how she used to run the house. And she's been there post-partition. And she's amazing. She's such an amazing woman. But say, even if when we were traveling, we, oh, sorry, my phone disconnected. We went to the Jallianwala Bagh, so it's the memorial park in Amritsar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's another aspect where I thought to myself, oh, I hear about it. I've heard about it in the media. I haven't been taught about it at school, but it's only when you go there do you realize the full impact of your ancestors and what Nanny, you've obviously heard about it quite a bit, and obviously your mum lived through it because you're from very near that area. And that was another journey which I just thought to myself, this is really emotional because I didn't know much about the history of the Jallianwala Bagh, the Amritsar massacre. And we were going through the memorial park and we were reading the plaques, and it was just so sad, really sad that my ancestors went through this. I had no idea about it. We're not taught about this at school. Yet Nanny knows about it, and it was wonderful to get Nanny's insight as we were going along, because Nanny has obviously heard so many stories from people that have lived through it, and that was really special. And we also went to the Partition Museum, but that was actually probably the most emotional because obviously Nanny's lived through that herself, and we were crying from the beginning right to the very end. Nanny could relate to every tale, every story, old letters, old pictures, radio recordings. And you did so well, Nanny, because it's not easy. It's really hard to relive that trauma. But I learned so much from you, things that I've never heard before from you in my life.
I know.
And it was almost
Nobody
where we
else
were was the
to tell
trigger.
you.
Yeah. And it was that trigger, like we were there and all the memories would come flooding back. And I was just so lucky in that moment I had my camera as well. So
then we went to Gold Temple.
Yeah,
we had wonderful time.
Wonderful. It was, Nanny was my historian and my tour guide.
Oh my
It
God.
was so, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that we had Nanny with us.
Oh, thanks.
Emotional, powerful, overwhelming, but also a lovely time. A lovely time.
And tell me, as a child, how, like, you know, did you ever feel like, you know, connected to your roots or Indian culture? Did you ever feel torn between being British and being Indian? You know, just how did that kind of come together for you as a child?
Of course. So when I was growing up, we grew up in Leamington Spa. So it's a town very quintessentially British. There's not very many Asians around. And in my school, the primary school that I went to, I was the only Asian. I was the only Indian in my class. So I used to almost, and it sounds really bad, but I used to resent being Indian or resent being brown because I was always the odd one out. And everyone was just different to me. And I found that, quite honestly, difficult at the beginning because I was still trying to understand, how did I get here, my background, my roots. And obviously it took a bit of time. It took a bit of adjustment. But then you see more, you know, now Leamington is just so diverse. You know, there are so many people from all sorts of backgrounds. But honestly, 20 years later, I can honestly say I'm so proud of my roots, so proud of my Punjabi roots. And I'm very lucky that having Nanny and being brought up by Nanny, I was able to have that first-hand, you know, upbringing of the Indian food, the language, the culture, even though it was really different because I'd go to school and it would just be nothing that I'm used to back at home. So it was just almost a bit of finding my feet at the beginning. And then we went to secondary school and there was a lot more diversity, and it got better with time. But I am so proud of where I've come from. And now as a journalist, I really aim to champion voices like Nanny, voices that aren't really represented on mainstream. We were brought up on Asian media a lot of the time through Nanny, and I wasn't really exposed to Western media, to be honest. But also it's more so they didn't really represent us. And so I got into the industry to challenge that representation and to really give a voice to those that need it the most. So I'm flying that flag, and that's what I always aim to do in my work. But yeah, I'm so proud of my roots now more so than ever.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think it's so amazing that you were able to kind of create this, you know, home, and, you know, for when you have generational kind of information, knowledge, love, affection, culture that passes on, right? It becomes you, it becomes part of you, and it kind of, you absorb, like you said, very much the little things, you know. And now when you look back at your childhood and you look at all the little things, whether it's the food or whether it was that, you know, Bollywood movie during the summer holidays, or whether it was, you know, it's all the small little everyday things that make you who you are. And I think that's what culture is about. It's about the whole of it. It's not the one, you know, element here and there. And I think that brings me to the next segue, which is, you know, Indigrow, and what we're trying to do as well is to kind of like look at the whole of it. So what I'd love for us to do is to look through the book together. And Nanny, let's maybe kind of just go through the book and see what it reminds you of, and see, if it triggers any memories for you. Because we've tried to kind of capture the everyday elements, the fun, the delight of India. And for grandparents like you who are raising their grandchildren outside of the country, how would they, share the things that remind them of India, and not have to wait 20 years to come and say, this is what my house looked like way back when. So maybe we can have a look at some of those pictures. And
we went through it yesterday, and Nanny said, Monika, this is the tree that I was talking about. Nanny, do you want to explain the tree and what it reminds you of?
This one, this was in our garden in the house.
What
And
tree is it?
tree is called Imli tree.
yeah.
Then we used to pick that imli, eat it, very tasty,
Yes.
fresh.
And it's sour. It's a bit sweet, sour kind of.
Sour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You used
And,
to eat the leaves.
Oh, not the leaves, just the imli.
What grows
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
tree.
Yeah, it's like a stick. It's like a long stick.
Yeah. And a stone in it.
Yes.
Stone in it.
Yes.
Yeah. And peacock.
Yeah.
Peacock in front of our house. There is called Messiana Hindu temple.
Yeah.
Messiana. There was peacock and what else? Just peacock. In the morning, my uncle used to go there and bring feathers.
Yeah.
Punk?
The peacock feathers, the punk. Yeah.
Yeah. Back home.
Oh, wow.
That was lovely. And camel.
Yes.
Every morning they pass our house.
Oh, really?
Early morning.
In
Yeah.
the Punjab.
Yeah, in the Punjab.
Oh my
Pass
goodness.
our house.
It's okay.
Sorry, just yeah. Sorry, carry
Pass
on.
our house, and they had what did you call chandra in the foot leg.
Yeah.
When they walk, they turn.
Yeah. They have
Early morning.
anklets. Yeah.
Early morning. Yeah. I had wonderful, with childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
So many memories.
I would love it too if I had a camel going outside my house every morning.
Yeah.
We don't get anything like that here.
Yeah.
Nothing here, but no elephants.
No elephants,
I
only
have-
camels.
Yeah. And what else? We had, tooth. Do you know tooth? Tree.
The one that you brush
Name?
your teeth with.
No, that is kicker. ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਛਿਟਕਾ ਤੋੜ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਉਹਦੀ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਫਾ ਕਰਨਾ.
That's the neem tree.
Yeah, kicker.
Yeah.
Kicker. But they don't. When we went back to India, we haven't seen any kicker. They all gone.
I was really shocked because it was really random. Me and Nanny are on FaceTime every night, and I just asked Nanny out of the blue. I said, Nanny, when you were in India, did you have a toothbrush? I assumed that Nanny had a toothbrush, and Nanny said, no. I was like, what? And then Nanny said, I've never had a toothbrush until I came to England in the 50s. So I said to Nanny, you just didn't brush your teeth then? And then Nanny said, no, I used a tree.
Tree
The bark.
branch,
The
a
branch.
very soft one.
Yeah.
I still can't make sense
chewing.
of it.
Chewing first, making brush, then clean your teeth, little bit salt and haldi.
Yeah.
And
Clean your teeth with haldi.
yeah.
Oh my
Haldi and
goodness.
It shines brighter.
Yeah,
I mean, Nanny has great teeth, so whatever she was doing, it clearly works.
yeah. And there was neem
What's
in
name?
our garden.
Yeah.
Then we used to eat the neem fruit. That was very good for your health.
Wasn't that
You
bitter?
don't.
It's-
Sorry.
Is the neem fruit bitter? Little bit.
Little bit,
Okay.
but nice to eat.
Nice to eat.
We used to eat that. And beria.
Oh,
Do you know
lovely.
beria?
Yeah.
Bear.
Bear, the little
Yeah.
ones, the red little ones.
Yeah, that tree was in our garden. Oh, lovely.
That-
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is so lovely to hear. I think that it's amazing when you look at something and then it sparks these ideas and thoughts and memories. It's so lovely to pass on. Like and
Yeah.
this image of Nanny eating the imli. Now I'm just going. You have to find out where you get imli, and you have to get it for Nanny because this is such a
I
lovely
know.
story.
Nanny was talking about it last night, and I thought to myself, "What is this?" So we need to get Emily now, Nanny.
We can have him.
We find a
Make
tree.
a chutney out of it for chaat and
Yeah.
things like that. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've said it before as well.
Yeah.
You say Emily when you
Yeah.
make food.
Yeah. But here you can have imli in the packet
Yeah.
or sauce in the
That's
bottle.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't have a imli tree here.
Yeah.
No.
That's pricey now.
No.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
lovely. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you one last question. So we have so many grandparents out there raising grandchildren as well and forming beautiful connections, just the way you and Monika are. Do you have any advice out there for the grandparents who have these little babies that they're raising? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, give love to grandchildren and play with them, take them out and give love to them. And you have back love from them. You enjoy the life with them. And that's what I would say. Take them out to the park and buy the ice cream and other food, what they want, and play with them. And they are children. You think you a child too with them. Just play like that.
Oh, how
They'll be happy. And you be happy both sides.
Yeah.
Just give them love.
Aww.
Love is big thing. Neela and Monika, they never leave me alone now. They give me, taking me out and taking me for lunch, taking me for walk to the park, to the shops. We having good time. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nanny.
this is so lovely. It kind of almost, for all of us, so I have 3 boys of my own and I'm looking at you and they're close to their grandparents now. And when I see the two of you together, I feel like, this is what I want for them. I want
Yeah.
it's amazing. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
I was thinking, these children are not my daughters, they are mine. Giving bath, combing hair, everything. And very good. Thank you so much. Nice to have you talk to me. I couldn't speak very well.
Nanny, you did
Oh,
so
well. So well. Thank you so
I'm
much.
so proud.
Yeah,
Akila, thank you so much. We're so grateful.
Thank you. Thank
Sheila,
you.
your name is? Kila?
Akhila.
Akila.
Yeah, Akhila.
Akila.
Yeah.
Beautiful names you have.
Thank you.
And you are beautiful too.
You are so beautiful. You're so
Yeah.
happy and
So
smiley, and we feed off your positivity. So that's a very special trait.
Thank
Nice
you
hair.
so much.
Nice hair.
Thank you. I think I've really, really enjoyed this conversation, and I feel like I have grown because of this. And I just want to thank both of you so much. And it was such a lovely, lovely. Thank you so much, Nanny Bimla. And
Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
the book. Nanny's really enjoying it, so thank you.
I read last night.
And she'll carry on reading it.
I'm so
Thank
glad.
you, Akila.
All right.
Thank you
take
so
care.
much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye for
Bye.
now.